Hello, everyone. Welcome back to, well, I was going to say the revival, but it might not be after this episode. And in fact, you'll probably have noticed from the thumbnail that things have changed. The decision has been made, and Newcastle are going to be looking for a new manager in just a few moments. But first, I need to go through the rationale of the decision that we made and why it was made. I did reach out to you guys both on Twitter and on YouTube asking where you thought we should go next in our managerial careers, and it was a very, very tight thing. The Twitter poll was drawn between Newcastle and Internacional, and the comments on YouTube, I'm just going to go through them here now. Forgive me if I get your names wrong, my pronunciation is awful. Becca Bigvava said Newcastle. Pro Gamerman said go to Genk, win everything. Jure Dobgimer said Genk because Man City are already a decent team with good players. Jow Henrique said play in Internacional, and Crab King said I should go to Manchester City because he's a fan and subscriber. Crab King, my apologies, but Manchester City actually got the least number of votes, and also I did say in the previous episode that I really wasn't sure if I would consider Manchester City because it didn't really feel like it would be that much of a change. We would still be playing in England, we'd still be playing Champions League football. It just didn't really feel like the sort of move that made sense to me. I think if I'm leaving Newcastle, I want a new challenge, and I want a completely new challenge. So that left Genk, Newcastle, and Internacional. Obviously, I've already said that I'm leaving. Newcastle are going to be looking for a new manager. I feel that I've done everything that I can do with Newcastle, and just to prove a point, I want to just show you the go into the database here and go into club ranking, and you will see that Newcastle was sitting pretty in fourth place behind Liverpool, Real Madrid, and Barcelona. While we're here, we can have a look at the other teams that we're being linked with. Manchester City, you can see there in eighth. Then, if we scroll down and we keep going down and we keep going down, you can see at number 43, Internacional. So that would be something of a challenge to try and get them up the club rankings, and also an American, an AFC, I believe it is Champions League, or is it CONMEBOL? I don't know my bloody nations, confederations. If we keep going down, you can see all the way in 62nd is Genk. Also, food for thought was the fact that Genk in this game, being part of the Jupiler League, the Belgian top division, it's actually set up so that after a certain number of games in the season, the league is split into three, which is something I have not done before. I've not played these split league forms of league play. So that would be an interesting thing. So really, it does come down to a flat out choice between Genk and Internacional. And at the end of the last episode, I did say that I was favouring Internacional because it was just going to be such a different thing, because it was going to be a whole new league, a whole new style of football. We weren't even going to be in Europe anymore. We would be travelling to Brazil. And that is kind of where I'm leaning. With the votes tied, I did say that the executive decision would end up being mine. And here we are with me having to make that executive decision, and indeed the decision at the end of the day is going to be that we're going to Internacional. So let's go into management career, let's go down to management offers, and let's select Internacional. So that is now confirmed. Somebody else in the comments of Friday's video, and I'm just going to bring it back up so I can say. Um, so the free boars. He said. He, she, I don't know, said you can also make requests for joining teams. Most of them usually accept in case there's anywhere special that you want to be. Um, That's good to know. I have yet to find that option. So if anyone watching knows where that option is, I thought that it would be in manager's office, possibly under management career, but I've gone through everywhere else. Management career gives you the options of past glories, favourite players, results and squad list, and manager offers. If you go into manager offers, it only gives you the option of club teams and national teams. It doesn't give you an option like it would in Become a Legend, where you can actually tell your agent to go out and get you a move to a specific club. So I don't know if maybe there's a bit of confusion there, and it's a Become a Legend thing, and the free balls is maybe confused on that, or maybe I'm just looking in completely the wrong place. But if anyone watching this video knows where that option might be, then please do let me know, because that is something that we would want to use in the future to get a move to a team in a specific league. But there we go. That is that. Let's go to next season. We'll officially confirm that we are now Internacional's manager. Am I sure? Yes, I am. There we go. It is done. It is dusted. For all of you Newcastle fans out there watching this, I hope that you continue to follow this channel. Uh, it honestly is nothing personal leaving Newcastle. It's just I do feel that we've done everything that we can there. We are going to continue to look in on Newcastle from time to time to see how they're getting on. I might even be tempted to pick up one or two players that have served us so well. But right now, it's a new challenge for us at Internacional, and we're straight into a press conference in Portuguese, although it looks suspiciously like English. So what style of football do we want to play this season? Well, I'd like to say that I want to put on a show, but I think we just want to keep it just clean, simple. So let's just say I want to see clean, sportsman-like football. Then we can get 2 or 3 men sent off in our first game and show ourselves to be massive hypocrites. So there we go. We should avoid dirty plays and time wasting. Play the game the right way. That's what I want. That's normally what I want. There are occasions where I'm willing to waste time. I'm not gonna lie. Right, there we go. And you can see at the top there now we are greeted with a red and white menu bar. Very, very different to what we're used to. And you'll also see that we're right slap bang in the middle of a league season. So, next up is a game against Palmeiras at the Alliance Park. We have interesting things going on. We've got a youth team, obviously. Let's go to the overall rating, descend, and have a look at what we've got in the way of players. We've got some good players here, some very, very good players. We'll have to come back and have a look at these. But right now, really, the first thing we need to do is we need to have a look at our game plan, at our players, and you can see already that they play a very, very similar formation to the one that we were playing at Newcastle. We're not going to need to change things up particularly much. And I also like to see that on the right hand side there in Brazil, you get to use a lot of substitutes. You have a lot of substitutes that you can have on your bench, which is wonderful because it really does open up our ability to have multiple bodies on the bench, so that if we have a good game, an easy game, a stroll in the park, we can bring young players on and we can try to improve them. But this all looks pretty decent. I'm not going to change things that much at the moment. I'm slightly concerned that we don't have any other centre backs in the team. Let's just have a look. Hopefully one of these fullbacks can play at centre back. No, they can't. What about Rodrigo? Rodrigo can't either. So immediately we've identified a weakness. Okay, Charles can play at centre back if we absolutely need him to. So that is an option for us, and we have this Rodrigo Dorado fella who can play in central and defensive midfield, and he could come in to play ahead of Charles if Charles needed to drop back into the centre of defence. Goalkeeper wise, I think we probably could upgrade our second choice goalkeeper. He's not looking particularly grand at the moment. But everything else, I'm liking the balance of the team. We've got some decent players. We've got some not so decent players. We're going to have to do a little bit of wheeling and dealing when January comes around. Of course, we don't have to wait until January because the transfer window is currently open, so we can make changes. But right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the next game, and then when I'm off camera, I'll do a little bit of wheeling and dealing and see if we can bring in a few players. Strengthen in areas that we need strengthening, maybe sell a few players, get a few players out of the side that I don't think are going to contribute, and see where we can go from there. Wow, we've gone through almost the entire month. I don't know if we're going to get any transfers done at this rate. That's ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. Speaking of ridiculous, Iker Casillas has joined Bayern Munich, and we have an offer for Rodrigo Dorado, who we can't really afford to let go at this stage. We have a lot of offers for our players, actually. Okay, 18 million from Bayer Leverkusen. That's a decent offer. He's got a market value of 17, release fee of 24, but like he's and he is actually he's on the down, down, deeper and down as well. He isn't going to get any better. In fact, he's starting to trail off. Look at those player skills, though. He looks like he could be a good player for us. 30 years old. We've got an offer for Cuesta. We cannot afford to sell Cuesta because we don't have any other centre backs. Offer for Patrick and an offer for Marcinho. Right, okay, we're going to ignore those as well. Let's crack on. Let's have a look at the state of this team, see what we've got to play with. We'll go into game plan very quickly because I just want to make sure that okay, attacking fullbacks is set. Let's have a look. Possession game, short passing, wide attacking areas, flexible positioning, frontline pressure, wide containment area, conservative pressure. Okay, that all sounds okay. So I'm going to leave that all as it is. I wonder if my tactical preference has just been mirrored into this team. That is more than likely what's happened, isn't it? They don't play like this at all. It just so happens that my tactics have been put on top of this team, and this is the best team that the AI could put out as a result. Right, I'm really interested to see how this game's going to go. Palmeiras are a side that I am aware of. They're obviously a very well-known side. Here we go, flares in the crowd. Nice bit of atmosphere going on. We are top of the league at the moment, so no pressure, but I have to maintain this. So, on the balance of things, being top of the league already, the argument is there that the team that we have at the moment is good enough to win this league. The question is whether or not we're strong enough to keep the pace in the American Champions League. So we'll have to have a look at that when it comes around. But Palmeiras kick off left to right. And straight away with a long ball. Just going to pass it around a little bit, just get a feel for these players. You get so used to certain players that when you shift teams, suddenly you can really be caught. I'm liking what I'm seeing from these guys so far, though. Oh, no, they've got the overlap here. Here's a chance for Palmeiras. Good save there. Well done, goalkeeper. It looks like a foul has been given in the favour of Internacional. I'll probably end up referring to us as Inter, which is entirely wrong, but there we go. Nice play. Just unable to get onto the ball. AI let me down a little bit there. Would like the player to try and track the ball instead of just blindly running backwards, but there we go. It is what it is. Oh, that's a nice ball. That's a lovely ball. And a brilliant finish. And Internacional are on to a winning start under the new manager. It's 1-0. William Potka, the number 99, with the first goal of this new era for the Brazilian side. And it was a very nicely worked chance there. Good interchanging of passes, and the finish from Potka. Look at that little flick there. Ball played across the box, takes one touch, sets himself, and then just bends the ball around the goalkeeper, who probably will feel that he could have done better under the circumstances. But that notwithstanding, it is 1-0 to Internacional. Ooh, goalkeeper had to be alive to that one. Did a good job. It's decent work from Internacional. Looking to press home the advantage and get a second. Bicycle kick. Goes well wide of the mark. We may very well end up turning on the names above the players. I probably should have done that a long time ago, but it would be nice, as I'm completely unfamiliar with this set of players, it would be nice to know who it is on the ball at any one time. Oh, there's a chance for Palmeiras. They've done very well there. Goalkeeper does well to save it, and then the defender gets his body in the way and forces it out for a corner. It just goes to show this game could so quickly turn. We have to be so careful. Corner for Palmeiras. Palmeiras, there we go. In it goes. Defender goes for it. Oh, off the line, my word. Oh my goodness me. How that didn't go in, I will never know. Oh, what defending there from the number 29. Need to be better at these corners. I'm already identifying a few areas where we could be better, and one of them is set pieces. Not a massive amount of height in this team, I don't think. Ah, that's good though. Good defending. And the break is on. If they can play the right ball here, and they do find it out wide, inside. Plays it on. Has he got the pace? He hasn't quite got the pace to get past his man. Ball gets played out, and it's going to be a throw-in to Palmeiras, I think. Actually, a foul may have been given there. I mean, that's a bit soft, especially in Brazilian football. That's really soft. So Everton with the goal kick, I said, the free kick. But Internacional they're like a dog with a bone. They just won't give up. Palmeiras get hold of the ball and get it away. Good confident play from the midfielders and defenders, just getting the ball away from the immediate area of danger and then passing it around to try to slow the pace of the game down a little bit. Oh, here's the fullback on the overlap. He's got a man in the middle if he can find him. Oh, he can't quite manage it. Very well done to get into such a promising position. But it just fell to pieces a little bit right at the end there. It's lovely football to watch though. Really enjoying this Internacional side so far. Just goes to show you don't necessarily need the best players to have a great game of football. Although they're certainly not bad players, this bunch. Not by any means. Although with passes like that, you could be led to believe otherwise. Tried a little flick, didn't quite come off, but he won't mind too much, the manager. It's just nice to see players trying these things. Oh, he's just nodded over the top of the player there, and now Palmeiras in a little bit of space. They play the ball forward. There's an overlap here if they can get the ball into the box, and they can. Oh no! Oh my word, that was a miss and a half. He's furious, and I can understand why. Such a let-off for Internacional. They were completely undone by that ball over the top. And then the man in the middle ghosting into the area completely unmarked. The number 6. Of course, the numbering system in Brazil very different to the one employed in parts of Europe. So number 6, I don't think is a centre-back. I think that might actually be a holding midfield. I'm not sure. Maybe one of my Latin American friends can let us know in the comments what the number 6 is more traditionally in South American football. Oh, there's a chance here. Oh, what a goal! Goodness me, what a finish that was by the number 21 Guerrero. Goodness me. Gonna have to have a look at this to see whether the goalkeeper might have been at fault. I thought the chance was gone when he took the ball wide, but he set himself, went for the near post. This angle will tell us. Just took it a little bit wide. And we're going to go to replay control just to get a good look at the angle here. So here we go. Guerrero takes the ball through, a little bit wide, takes a couple of touches, just get himself set. Oh my, goalkeeper, what are you doing? 2-0 to Internacional. It's going to be a comfortable win, it looks like, after the first half comes to an end. With a 2-0 lead, the visitors look all set to take away all 3 points today. What a first half of football, and what an introduction to Brazilian football for this manager. More easy passes between the defence and midfield, just finding the pace of the game in the second half. Ball's intercepted. Palmeiras try to get the ball up the pitch quickly, I should say, sorry. Tongue-tied there. Not the pass we wanted. Promising to see that the Internacional players are very happy to close down when they need to. That's a beautiful raking ball to switch wings from left to right. Good tackle there. Oh no, it's a bad first touch. It's a shame because everything was there for a... Oh, hello. Little bit of a trip up. Oh my goodness me, what the hell is going on here? This is possibly offside. No, he's onside apparently. Everything going wrong here. Clever play, allows the ball to run. There's a chance here if they can fashion one out of it. They can't quite manage it. The defender gets his body in the way. Back to the goalkeeper, who takes a touch just to be safe. Looks up, plays it wide out to the left-hand side to the bombarding full-back Iago. Velasco, back to Iago, plays it forward to Lopez. Inside to Guerrero. Can't hold on to it, but the referee gives a foul. Didn't see too much wrong myself. We'll have a look at the replay and see what he thought was wrong here. I really don't understand why a free kick's been given there. I thought it was a fair challenge, and you know me, I won't say that unless I mean it. But here we are, we have a chance on the edge of the area. Just going to float it into the box, just in the direction of the far post, and see if we can get someone to run onto it. Volley takes a deflection. It's going to be a corner kick to Internacional. Let's have a look at our set piece takers. Velasco, the better option. He's a right footer, which means an outswinger. Harmlessly back outside the box. Oh dear. Completely missed the pass. This is a very fun team to play with, though. I can't recommend them highly enough, especially with this tactic. Oof, nearly. Palmeiras taking their lives in their own hands a little bit with some of this passing. Wouldn't quite call it suicidal, but it's optimistic to say the least. And just a fraction offside the centre forward. Free kick given to Internacional. And now Borja off for Kaya. And we'll have a look at making changes ourselves. No real need to. It's been a bit of a walk in the park for this team. But the right back, we'll have a look at Zika. Dorado we'll have a look at in the place of Charles. And let's have a look at... it turns out that we only have 7 substitutes, so that is something that will have to be addressed. We don't have any centre-forward options. D'Alessandro can play pretty much anywhere, it looks like. But let's play him instead of Nonato. Triple substitution. Surely nothing can go wrong here, he says. Schurz with the restart, plays the ball up to Zika, new man on the pitch. Going to take him a second to get the pace of the game. Potka. He very nearly did well. In fact, he does do very well to win the ball back. Here's a chance header, and it's 3-0. 3-0 to Internacional. Second goal of the game for Guerrero. Setting himself up early doors to be the hero of this save. But really, Potka does a great job in winning that ball back after holding it off against 2 defenders. Ball's played into the box by Zitka, who just come on the pitch. And Guerrero, salmon-like, rising above the defender to nod it away and to make it 3-0. And this has been quite the convincing performance by Internacional under new management, as we said earlier. The Newcastle manager who came in after... It has to say it's something of a shock that he's turned up in Brazil after really distinguishing himself so well in the Premier League. Many thought that bigger moves would be on for him. But here he is in Brazilian football. And the players so far responding very well to his style of football. No. Tried the trick, tried the flick, and it didn't quite come off, unfortunately. But at this stage of the game, I don't think it's going to harm any. As a foul given away there, I personally felt that was nothing more than a full-blooded 50-50. If anything, the Palmeiras player running into the Internacional midfielder. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I really don't, but Rodrigo gives away the free kick. It's not in a particularly threatening area, but if you don't deal with it correctly, any free kick from this kind of range can cause issues. Passing getting a little bit lax now. Maybe Internacional just starting to relax a bit too much, taking their foot off the gas slightly. Cool, calm, collected header back to the goalkeeper. The left back doing very well. Ziago again, bombing down the left-hand side. And it finds its way in, the cross. And it's gone out. You have to say, well done to Iago for not giving up on that. His tenacity has won his team a throw-in in a dangerous area. Oh, that's a iffy challenge. A foul would have been given against many a player for that, but it doesn't matter in the end. Final score here is 3-0 to the visiting team. Internacional walking away with all 3 points today after a fantastic performance against Palmeiras, sorry. I know people are going to be absolutely screaming at me in the comments if I get these names too wrong. Very, very happy with that result and that performance. This feels like a team that doesn't need too much tinkering at all. I think the main thing that we're going to need to do is we're just going to need to strengthen in areas a little bit. Centre-back is definitely an area that I want to improve. I want to have a good look at this midfielders. Make sure that we haven't got anyone that's starting to decline badly. Anyone that is, I will probably look to cash in on and move on and bring in some slightly younger players. I'm all about the youth. I'm all about players that are only getting better. Now, that doesn't mean that if I find a player that, like a Hummels, for example, that can dramatically improve the team, but is maybe a bit of a waning star, it doesn't mean I won't bring them in. It really doesn't, and you guys know that. But look at those stats. I'm so happy with that. I really am. Amazing. 3-0. Lothar Matthäus off to a winning start in Brazil. And of course, the 6.0 ratings follow us wherever we go. Guerrero, the man of the match with a 7.5 rating and 2 goals to his name. Potka, the man of the moment with the assist and the tenacity to keep trying to win that ball back, which did eventually lead to the 3rd goal after the contribution of Zika from the right wing, also on a 7.5. So there we go. So that is it for this episode. I don't know what we're going to be calling this series from now on. Perhaps International Rescue. Who knows? I'm a bit of a Thunderbirds fan, so maybe that will be what we'll call it. You'll probably see in the thumbnail. But there's the rest of the scores for you up on the board there. Let's see how those affect the league table. And you can see we've got an easy peasy 8-point lead here at the top of the table in the Campeonato Brasileiro Serie A. We should just call it Serie A from now on, or the Campeonato. Cruzeiro and Grêmio look like our 2 closest rivals. Flamengo not too far behind, and Vasco da Gama on 24 points. I would say our only realistic challenge is going to come from Cruzeiro, possibly Grêmio. We need to keep an eye on those teams rather. But I think we've landed on our feet here. How Internacional, in the position that they were in, thought they needed a different manager, I will never know, but I'm very happy that they did. So Botafogo is the next game in Serie A for us. That will be next time up on the channel. But before we go, because it is... Oh, it's a derby. Oh, it's a big one. It's a derby. Okay, we're definitely going to be coming back for Botafogo then. Sorry, Grêmio. Okay. So you see, my knowledge of Brazilian football is absolutely awful. I would not know a local derby if it bit me on the arse. So I apologise for that, but we will come back for Grêmio at some point in the future. We're not going to miss that game for sure. But as I was saying before we go, we are in the middle of a transfer window, I believe. And so due to that, we're going to go into transfer market news, and we're just going to have a look and see if there's any movement for players regarding Newcastle. and this will be news to me. I'm dreading seeing players that I worked so hard to bring into the club moving away from Newcastle. I really am. Ah, interesting, interesting indeed. So, Olympique Lyonnais have loaned a player to Newcastle United, and it is the goalkeeper Adrian. Interesting. I didn't think we needed a goalkeeper, but obviously the man in charge of Newcastle now disagrees. Let's see if there's any other transfers involving Newcastle United. Maybe that loan of a goalkeeper was necessitated by a sale. I hate to think if they've sold anybody. It's looking good so far. Oh, oh no. Oh, oh no. You hear that? Do you hear that sound, ladies and gentlemen? That is the sound of my heart breaking. John Joe Shelvey, who served us valiantly, club captain, and he's joined Watford for £5.5 million at the age of 32. Moment of silence for the career of John Joe Shelvey at Newcastle, please, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gutted. I'm not even kidding now. I'm genuinely gutted about that. I was hoping that he would see out his career at Newcastle. Oh, no. Okay, who else? Anyone else? Has there been any other transfer dealings to do with Newcastle? I mean, that's not even a good price for him. 5 million. Amateurs. Bodmer. Okay, so now this is a transfer that we'd already agreed with West Ham United. Bodmer going on loan. I believe it was a 6-month loan for the price of £7 million. I think it's a good move for him. He'll get some game time, hopefully, and he'll come back as a better player for Newcastle. And that's it. Those are all of the transfers so far. So we will be visiting periodically the Newcastle camp throughout the season and the seasons to come, just to see how they get on. Because I am still invested in that team. We spent 5 years there. I couldn't help but care about what happens to that team now. But anyway, that's going to do it for this first episode of a brand new career in Brazil for Internacional. Until next time, thank you very much for watching. Take care. I will see you all very soon. Bye bye.